Hey guys, what's up? Cobra Axes and Allies here, bringing to you another Painted Units video. So, this is another one of the Global 36 neutral armies, and the reason I've been making so many videos on this is just because I've been waiting for my Russian pieces to come in, which they finally have, and yeah, so these have just been pretty fun to crank out, kind of like Anzac in China, because the reason they're like the point is that they're really small, so they take about maybe 2 hours of your time to get all of this done. And you can see right here, like that's their navy, there's their land forces. They got that fighter right there, but you can pack so much detail into them, and it's pretty fun too. Like, you know, if you like painting, you know, you can always like do certain things by like, you know, making a guy commando by giving him, you know, like painting a gun or a knife onto his back, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, now these guys too I tried to paint up really nice because you're going to be seeing these a lot in Global 36, because not only are they all on the board in the beginning, but once the Netherlands falls, the British player gets to get control of all these guys, so they'll actually see some combat in the game if they don't get completely destroyed in the West Indies by Japan in the first turn. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with these guys. What I did was same as always with all of the other neutral armies, kind of expansion sets. Like, what I did was I found the expansion set, so this was the Netherlands at war. I took the pieces, included pieces pamphlet, and I just got all the neutral pieces that I needed to build them up, and you know, here we have them. So, and if you do end up looking at that yourself, you might notice that they should have an armored car, not a cavalry. And you'll be seeing this a lot in my videos where many of the nations will have cavalry, and this is because that I've decided not include armored cars just because I could change it up if I want, the rules, but I think they're pretty good as is, and as it stands, an armored car and cavalry are exactly the same completely, except for if you're playing Oil Wars, whereas the armored car will take oil, so of course you're going to want to build cavalry instead. So armored cars are kind of pointless to me, and I've decided to include cavalry. They look a lot nicer too. So I guess I'll start with the cavalry, and you can see here I've decided to go with an orange base instead of that kind of three-way color roundel that they usually have, and that is because not only might it be confusing if you rotated it, it might look like Poland's roundel, but also it looks a lot like the World War I roundel that the Netherlands had, so I can use all these painted pieces in World War I Global. But you can see all the guys have blue uniforms, and this is because the Dutch didn't really change their uniforms since World War I. They just they've always been a fairly peaceful nation, so they never needed, you know, to build up their military. It also gave me a chance to paint up these guys, and as you can see, these are Dutch infantry on historical board gaming. This is a Dutch plane, and all of these neutral ships that you usually buy are Dutch pieces, so it really gave me a chance to completely like copy what all the Dutch camos and everything were from the war. You know, for an example, I'm using Dutch infantry to represent Spanish Republican infantry, and you know, this isn't period accurate to what the Spanish were wearing. It's pretty close, but to actually have like an exact model of what these guys were wearing is pretty cool to represent their army. So yeah, these will be making up the Dutch infantry and militia pieces. This is an infantry with rifle. I'm just using it to represent my mountain infantry. This guy you might recognize from Anzac. Excuse me, I'm pretty sick past couple weeks. This is the Corps Commando, or Corps Command Troepen, which is the special Dutch kind of. They're in the past, I think they were established in 1632, and they had always been kind of like the Dutch Royal Marines ever since the Netherlands had started building up their trading empire in the East Indies under British charter. So, yeah, that's a unit for, and in global war, they act as airborne and Marines. Here you can see some artillery. These are just Russian artillery. And what I did was made them look a little more like something the Dutch were using. So I chopped off the front barrel and cut a support. Word escapes me right now, but one of the stabilizers for the gun. Over here, this is just a Polish light tank that I painted up in Dutch colors with the symbol on top. Here is my Fokker 8 expansion set seaplane. You might have seen this in one of my other videos, but yeah, really nice piece. I really like getting historical board gaming expansion sets now. Whenever I get a parts haul now, I kind of like to just buy an expansion set just because I think they're pretty cool. Kind of like a gift to myself. Here is my fighter. This is a Fokker Wolf fighter. Cool thing is too, this fighter and this Fokker 8, Fokker was based in the Netherlands, so these are actually planes they were using during the war. This is my transport ship. All my ships have the triangular Dutch marking on them. And again, too, I've been marking all my ships, so they all have the recognition stamps on them, so I know exactly what they are. But yeah, here's my transport. Coastal submarine. These are just the original Axis and Allies pieces. This is the cruiser, destroyer, and these are American subs that I just painted up. But yeah, I'll put a little slideshow at the end of this just to show you these pieces in a lot more detail. But I hope you like this video. Cobra, out.